Hi, it's Spiritual Psychic Cynthia Killian here, also known as Psychic Cynthia, and welcome. I'm signing on today to just let you know a little bit more about what to expect in our upcoming Rune Basics teleclass series. So this is a 3-week teleclass series, and the classes will be conducted via telephone so that you can call in from anywhere. That way you don't have to worry about coming to my house here in Kansas or hiring a babysitter so you can get here even if you live nearby, or any of the other things that we have to work out to try to get somewhere 3 weeks in a row. And the classes, at least for this run around, will be held on a Wednesday night. Now, if I'm holding them again later, maybe we'll do them on a different night, but for the first time, we're doing Wednesday. And anyway, you're invited to join us. And even if you can't join us for the live classes, or if you're going to miss one live class, that's fine. You can work along with the recordings and also with the companion videos that I'm making for the class and your class handouts. So it is very possible to work along with the class recordings, even if you can't attend live, or if you have to miss one, let's say. So I do want to say that just off the top, in case those of you who aren't able to call in at that time. I think many of you will be able to, but some of you might go to bed a little earlier, or maybe that night of the week doesn't work for you because of other commitments. So just know you're still invited to attend, and welcome. So this is Rune Basics. And the name of the class really does describe what we'll be focusing on, the basics. So, this is working with the runes as a divination tool, as a portal to get guidance for yourself first and others as well. And we will go over things like, okay, first of all, the runes themselves, the 24 Elder Futhark runes. And we'll also talk just a bit about the blank rune, but we'll be focusing on the 24 Elder Futhark runes, and we will go over at least a little bit each rune individually, so you'll have more of an understanding of the meaning in divination too, not just like the meaning when you read in a book, but like how do you actually interpret these in a reading, possibly. What are some possible interpretations and meanings? So we'll go over that. We'll also be looking at the runes as they are grouped according to the 3 8s. And if you haven't heard that phrase yet, just look at the Elder Futhark sheet. There's 3 rows of 8, okay? And that's no accident. Each one of those 3 rows means something, and all of the runes that are in a single row are connected somehow. So that's one of the first things we'll look at, is just what is the connection between these 3 8s? If you draw any rune from that row, for example, it's connected to all the others somehow. So we'll be looking at that and just kind of the overarching themes. And basically, this is your introduction to the runes as a cosmic system of divination, a tool that you can turn to that has many answers. Answers that can be universally applied to many different situations. Now the runes, if you haven't used them before, which I'm assuming either you haven't used them much or you haven't used them at all if you're going to take this class, or maybe you have used them a lot, but you want to learn my method, and if so, that's okay too. You're also welcome. But the runes, in my experience, just so you know, as a divination tool, are very good for certain kinds of readings. I mean, they're good for all kinds of readings, and I have consulted them for all kinds of things. I've even kind of played around with trying to predict the weather with them. I'm no weather expert predictor, but it's just a fun thing I do. But I do find them to be exceptionally accurate when it comes to relationship readings, number one, and that can be, yes, romantic relationships, but any kind of relationships, including work relationship, your relationship with your children, your relationship with your parents, your relationship with your own soul and the cosmos and your spiritual path. The runes are also excellent for consulting about our spiritual past, our spiritual growth. They are so good for that. I believe they rival the I Ching in their ability to help guide us on our spiritual path. And they are excellent. The runes may be the best for vocational questions about your life purpose, what direction you should go into. I mean, I really think they might be the best. Again, they're right up there with the I Ching for those kinds of questions. The tarot might be the best for love relationships in some ways, but the runes do that pretty good too. And in terms of vocational or life direction or spiritual purpose, I think they are even better. And keep in mind, I am an experienced psychic, with experience using many different divination tools reading. So, yes, the runes rock, you guys. I mean, you really can get a lot of guidance and information. And then there's this whole other layer with the runes where they are a cosmic system connecting in with these ancient Northern European myths. And we'll touch just a little bit on that in the Rune Basics. That is more advanced. So if we go through the Rune Basics together and we decide that we want to learn more about that later, we can do that, the mythology part. I will add a little though. So you can kind of understand more where these come from and what they're trying to communicate to your soul. So that's a bit about what we'll cover. Yes, we will cover the meanings of the individual runes, the basic meanings. I mean, really, you can spend a lifetime studying these and meditating upon them, but enough to get you started to actually read on them. And I will be sharing some of my actual reading experience with the runes. In other words, not just what I've memorized, but what I find the runes actually mean when I'm using them for people. And we will go over a few basic reading spreads. You don't really need a lot to get started because mainly what you need to do is take a few spreads and read on them. So we'll be doing that, and maybe we'll even do some rune readings in our live classes. I won't force you, okay? As in maybe one or two of you could do a rune reading for somebody on there, or for me even. And yes, of course, I could do a rune reading for some of you too, but I do rune readings a lot. The idea is to maybe get you all practicing. So even if it's not on the live calls, hopefully you will take what you're learning here and apply it with somebody in your life, even if it's just yourself, okay? So that is a bit about what you can expect. We're going to learn about the 3/8, the individual runes, some basic rune spreads, and just more about the spirit of the runes, the energy of the runes, how they can speak to you. They are a very intelligent and responsive divination tool system. I hesitate to call them a tool because they are alive and conscious in their own ways. So I'll be talking more about that in the live classes. And anyway, if you get a good vibe off what you hear here, if you get a good feeling about this, if you think that the runes might be something you'd like to explore more, please do join us in this next upcoming Rune Basics teleclass series. Much love to you all and bright blessings on your path. May the mysteries of the runes be open to you now and always.